Welcome to tonight's call. We're going to talk about traffic with joint ventures tonight. So, what did we cover last week? Well, we talked about Facebook ads, and here's some of the stuff we covered. I asked you, what is your goal with your Facebook advertising? Because that's very important to know. We talked about what are Facebook ads, how you do Facebook ad bidding, should you do cost per click or cost per thousand impressions, or even optimize cost per thousand impressions, how you get traffic with Facebook advertising, how to get laser targeted traffic from Facebook, how to get clicks for pennies, what kind of images you should use, how to create ads that sell, how to promote affiliate offers, how to build your list, how to steal your competitors' customers, how to market to your existing customers, and a few case studies of mine, and a lot more. And the homework from last week was really just create your first Facebook ad, and it could be anything from promoting a squeeze page so you build a list to an affiliate offer where you could maybe earn some commissions, or even set up like a Facebook fan page and start building a following of fans on Facebook. So what are we going to cover this week? Well, tonight we're going to talk about joint ventures, which is my favorite traffic generation strategy. It's a strategy that's made me the most amount of money over the years. It's really what has turned me into, I guess, an internet success story. Before I learned about joint ventures, I really was not doing very well online. It really is what accelerated my career. Joint ventures are solely what's responsible for me building a list. They're responsible for me having my own products. They're responsible for me traveling the world and speaking at events. It's all due to learning about joint ventures, and it completely changed my entire life's direction. And I'm hoping that you get a lot of value out of learning how to incorporate joint ventures into your business. So we're going to learn how to get joint venture partners to promote you, places to promote your product to get JV partners, how to find JV partners, how to build relationships, the power of reciprocation, how to persuade the JV partners to promote you, how to motivate them to continue promoting your product, and a lot more. So first off, what are joint ventures? Well, basically, joint ventures, and they're commonly called JVs, and I'm going to go interchangeably. I'll probably say JVs more than I'll say joint ventures because it's easier. They're basically partnerships, and you're working together with a common goal in mind. It's a very fast, lucrative, and I'd say free in quotation mark strategy for exploding your business because you do have to put some time involved. You may end up going to some seminars to connect with other marketers. You may send some snail mail to get people out. I mean, I've had people FedEx me stuff overnight where they've sent me $100 bill and like a DVD, and the $100 was for my time to watch their 5-minute DVD video. It's crazy what some people do to get JV partners. I've heard of other people where they've even sent like laptops and iPads to some of the really top marketers out there just to convince them to look at a JV proposal. So it's pretty wild what's going on right now. The easiest JVs is really about getting someone who has like an email list or a following of some sort to promote you or your product to their customers or their followers, either way. And that's really what we're going to focus on tonight, just because that's the easiest JV to land. You could have hundreds of people, even thousands of people promoting a product of yours through joint ventures. And this is really what we're going to focus on now. I mean, there are other types of JVs, and I'll talk about those a little bit, but that's where 99% of mine are. The next most popular one is to partner up with someone, and then you either would create or just market a product or service together. So you might have some complementary things, like maybe you're the marketer and you've found someone who's like a software developer. Well, you could joint venture together, and instead of paying them like a development fee, you build the business together and you just pay them, a percentage of the sales. That's one way around it. So why should you joint venture? Well, joint ventures will establish your credibility. I mean, you're basically, someone's talking about you and saying how great you are. That really gives you a lot of credibility. It's amazing what that can do. You're leveraging their time. You can leverage other people's money and other people's resources. So if someone has an email list, I mean, you're leveraging that. They spent time and money to build that, and you're able to leverage that just by contacting them and getting them to send out a mailing. If you were to buy that traffic, it might take you quite a bit of money, and it might take you quite a bit of time to buy the kind of exposure that they can give you just by sending out an email to their lists. Plus, the email is basically an endorsement. I mean, imagine if you have someone who's kind of a known authority figure in the marketplace saying that, hey, this product's really good and I like this vendor and it's really great stuff. Some of his best customers are going to be like, oh, well, this guy must be good because the guy that I'm following says he is good. I want to buy this other guy's stuff too. You can kind of become a quote unquote celebrity in your marketplace, and it's really through JVs. If you were to do this with advertising, it would cost a lot of money to have the same sort of cachet, if you will, of the celebrity status that you get through joint ventures, because joint ventures, you're really able to tap into that know, like, and trust factor of the person promoting you, and that's a great way to really accelerate this kind of expert or guru or celebrity, whatever status you want to call it, in the marketplace. And then with joint ventures, you can crank out money or traffic on demand. I mean, it's as simple as having someone send an email out or putting something on their blog or something about you where they're exposing you to their audience. And that can create traffic for you within minutes of them doing it. And it can crank out money because there's people out there that can send, hundreds, if not thousands of clicks just with an email to their list. And this is just like an endorsement. I mean, imagine what if you had a product and they sent out 1,000 visitors to your page and you were making sales off that? Or what if you were doing a webinar with them and they're having you as a guest and they're exposing you to hundreds if not thousands of people on a 90-minute call where they're interviewing you or you're giving a presentation, sharing your expertise, and then you promote a product of yours at the end of the call. I mean, it's fascinating what you can do with joint ventures and just how much exposure you can get and how much notoriety a joint venture can do for you. Now let's delve into the mindset of joint ventures. You really want to come from the position of give, 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 give. Pretty much everyone out there that is struggling to get JV partners is all about take, 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 me, me, me. What can you do for me? Promote me, promote me, promote me. But if you take the mindset of, here, let me help you. Here, let me do this. Here, let me give you a testimonial. Here, let me introduce you to someone. Those types of things, and you're always giving, you're going to get back 10 times more. So firmly believe that the more you give will lead to the more that you're going to get. It's kind of, I hear a quote, I think it's by Warren Buffett, where, the reason that there's a shade tree is because someone planted a seed 80 years ago. And that's the reason why there's shade when you're outside sitting in the grass and there's a big tree overhead. And it's a very similar concept. The more you reap, the more you sow, type of thing going on. And it's amazing what can happen when you're just kind of planting these seeds with people and really focusing on building a relationship that not only turns into a friendship and a lifelong friendship, but you have fun in the process and you make money and you learn things. Because there's a lot of times I can just talk to a high-profile JV partner and get some tips and some advice on, hey, do you think I could improve this a little bit? What would you suggest? And they'll spend time helping me out where they would normally charge someone a lot of money for that. And it's simply because I've built a relationship with them. I've come from a give, give, give mindset where they've asked me before, I've asked them, we've talked one-on-one or in groups before, masterminded things, and it's all about giving. And it's just amazing what you can do when you focus on that and just how quickly you can grow a business. Now what I want you to do is you really need to connect with leaders. There's a lot of people in the marketplace that are just scared of connecting with people that they admire and they've bought products from, and these gurus in the marketplace. And that's really not what you want to be. You want, it's great to connect with some of the other guys that haven't quite made it into the inner circle yet. But really you should be focusing your efforts on what you can do to help some of these people who don't need your help. These people are doing so well that what could you do to offer to them? And there's things that that they don't know. There's things that they don't know that they don't know they don't know. I know that sounds confusing, but you're a very smart individual. Anyone who invests in a course, spends time, gets this far into it, and is paying attention and wants to better their life, you are so much farther ahead than so many people out there. I mean, let's face it, a lot of people would rather watch some reality TV, or just listen to a bunch of music, and wouldn't even want to focus on doing anything to better their life. But you're here and you're focusing on making a better life for yourself and your family. And joint ventures is really, I'd say, the number one strategy for doing it. It's just phenomenal what you can do, especially if you got a shoestring budget. Now, if you're a business with millions upon millions of dollars, you could get stuff out of joint ventures. There's definitely potential there. There's definitely growth for you with joint ventures. But if you're on a shoestring budget like most marketers, JVs might be your only option, or it might be, I'd say it's definitely the best option for you, but it might also be the only option, because you might not be able to spend, tens of thousands of dollars on banner advertising or on pay-per-click advertising to achieve the success you want. Now, that being said, I do think that joint ventures should be a business where it is more of a bonus for you. I do think that you should learn how to monetize solo ads. You should learn how to monetize Facebook traffic. You should learn how to monetize pay-per-click traffic, or some free sources of traffic like YouTube videos or search engine optimization. You should learn how to some other traffic methods to make money. But joint ventures are a phenomenal way to make a lot of cash. And most marketers, almost every marketer I know, the vast bulk majority of their income comes from joint ventures. So that's why I feel that you should focus on it. It's kind of the 80-20 rule. This is the 20% that's going to get you 80% of the results. It's really the fast track to success. Now, with joint ventures, it's more than just money. These partners, they become advisors and trusted friends. There's a lot of marketers I've gone on vacations with. I've gone to marketers' weddings. We've gone over to each other's homes. We'll go out to eat. We've gone and just done fun things together with different marketers. We'll go, to the zoo or nightclubs, or see a movie, or go shopping, or do all sorts of cool stuff, because we're friends, and it's fun when you build these friendships and you create this kind of relationship with these other marketers, and really focus on give and build that friendship. Because I often say that I'm actually closer to a lot of my joint venture partners than I am to some of my friends in real life. We've got more in common. There's more. Sometimes they're more fun to hang out with too. But it's really really expanding your social circle. And just the nice thing is that a lot of times you have a lot of similar beliefs. You have a business, more than likely. You're interested in self-improvement. You're interested in internet marketing. You guys have similar terminology. It's kind of, I imagine it's similar when you work at a job and you have coworkers. You kind of have similar lingo and things like that. So it has a natural rapport for you, and a common connection, I guess, where you can build a relationship from. Now, a question I get asked a lot is, there a difference between JV partners and affiliates? And personally, I don't think there really is much. But JV partners, you tend to know them better. They tend to make you a lot more sales. And I mean, these are general statements, but generally you know them a lot better, and they can make a lot of sales. I mean, there's definitely JV partners that can make a handful of sales, and there's JV partners out there that can make hundreds of sales. And it just matters, it might depend on what their list responds to, or how big their list is, or the relationship they have with their list. That being said, there are definitely affiliates that are more like underground, don't want anyone to know who they are, and they must just buy a lot of paid traffic. and other forms of media. And they're more affiliates because they don't want to have a conversation with you. But it's amazing how many marketers out there actually want to have JV partners that they can connect with and be friends with and be friendly and do things together. That's you see it all the time, especially if you're on Facebook and you add any of these marketers. You see them, they'll be playing video games together, or they'll talk about going on a trip together, or different things that they've done together. And that's really, that's what it's all about. It's all about living your life and being able to share it with people that you like being around. Now, another thing that's generally a difference between JV partners and affiliates is JV partners tend to get higher commissions. So you might give affiliates 50 or 75% commissions. You might give JV partners 75 to 100% commissions, just because you want to get them to mail and get those buyer leads, because that's what's worth a lot more. The actual sales of your product really is a drop in the bucket. Where the real money is having that relationship with those customers where they know, like, and trust you, and you can promote more products of your own down the road. You can, do webinars and teleseminars and things like that. You can have, your own seminars, your own offline events, those types of things. That's where the real money is, the back end, if you will. So what are the three main types of joint ventures? Well, promoting a product or service, and they get like a commission payout. This is just like an affiliate. You might give them a higher commission, but it's basically the same thing. They have what's called an affiliate link that they send traffic to. It tracks the sales, and you pay them a commission either immediately or 30, 60, 90 days, whatever you have set up in your affiliate program. You could create and market a business or product together. This is a little bit more involved. It could be something as simple as you guys interview each other. It could be something as complex as you get an office together and pool your money, and you hire employees full time, and you manage a staff, and you build a business together. And that's another type of joint venture. There's definitely a lot of businesses that are run as partnerships. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but I will tell you a little bit about some of the legalities of that. If you are going to do a business partnership, especially where you're going to be doing something more than just creating like a simple information product, you're definitely going to want to talk to a lawyer and figure out all your protection that you need. You're going to want to have like an LLC or a corporation, from my understanding. And there's a lot of people that will do sole proprietorships or like general partnerships and things like that. And the problem with that, from my understanding, at least from the advice I've been given from my attorneys, is you're limited to all the liability. So let's say, for instance, you're in a general partnership, and you don't have like an LLC protecting you, which is basically a corporate entity. If you don't have that protecting you and your assets, if your partner, I don't know, runs someone over and that person, their family, sues them, well, they can sue you as well, because you guys have a company together and you didn't protect it the way you should have. And so you are responsible. It's kind of double the risk and none of the benefits. So you really need to, and vice versa. I mean, if you did something and someone got angry and sued you, they could sue your partner too. So you definitely need to figure out the legalities and talk to a professional before you, build like a real business together. It's probably not such a big deal if you're just doing like an interview or something like that. But if you're going to build a big business, and you're going to be business partners on something where you're going to be doing a lot of stuff together, you're definitely going to want to talk to a advisor and figure out what to do. If you want to do seminars and events, this is another thing. So the speakers, they're really lending their likability, their image themselves to the event, and that can draw people in. They're also sharing their knowledge. And I mean, the event promoter, their job is to, get people to get into the event. Their job is to make sure the event runs smoothly. Their job is to, keep in touch with the speakers and make sure that they have everything they need and just make it an easy experience. And so in a way, that's kind of a joint venture because you're kind of creating something together. It's on a smaller scale than doing like a whole business together, but it's still much more involved than just having someone send out an email or doing an interview with somebody. So how do you get JV partners to promote? Well, you want to get on their radar. You want to kind of make a splash and make it so they, get to know you. Help them out with something. If there's something technical you know how to do, help them do that. If you're really good with sales copy, help them with that. If you could introduce them to some other people who could promote them, do that. There's a lot of stuff you can do. If you can do graphic stuff, do that kind of thing. There's a lot of things that you could do to really build a relationship with people. And if you just come from the mentality of, I'm going to give, and eventually it's going to come back. That person might not do anything with you, but they may talk about how awesome you are to other people, and there's going to be someone else out there who's going to do something with you. It's, I guess it's karma in a way. The more you give, the more you get. So what I want you to do is basically give 3 times before you ever ask for anything. So you might, promote someone multiple times before you say, hey, could you promote my thing? You might give someone like a testimonial. You might introduce them to someone. There's a lot of different things. Just brainstorm what you could do. There's some unique things that you have, some connections you have, ideas you have, knowledge you have, resources you have that they might not have as much readily available. And the nice thing is, there's sites like Fiverr and things like that where you can outsource some of these tasks to further build a relationship. And that's definitely worth spending some money, or even having someone who works for you like full time in, say, the Philippines or something, and pay them a couple $100s a month to kind of just do favors for people. And that's not a bad gig for you to do, to just kind of build relationships with JV partners and have your staff do the work. Promoting their products is one of the best ways. If you can make a lot of sales for someone, they tend to feel obligated to help you out. Buy their stuff. A great way to get on someone's radar is to actually buy their product and give them a testimonial. Because oftentimes they're going to feature your testimonial in that product or in an upcoming product. And I think that's just phenomenal what you can do when you've given someone a testimonial. That way, thousands or maybe even tens of thousands of people are going to see your picture or your video or your text and your name on their website. And that's just amazing what that does for your credibility, as long as the product's actually good. And you're helping them out. You're doing them a big favor, because the more testimonials they have, the more sales they're going to make. Buy them stuff, especially if you go to seminars. When I go to seminars, I've bought food, I've bought gifts, I've bought drinks. I've been invited to people's weddings. I've been in people's weddings. I've been invited to people's birthday parties. Gone to their birthday parties. I've been, there's definitely been people who've bought me stuff as well. But a lot of times I'll pick up the tab. I've done things where I'll go to an event, and this isn't specifically JV related, but I'll even do it where let's say I'm speaking at a seminar, and I'm giving a presentation, a bunch of people buy. I might take all my customers out to lunch, on my dime, and we'll go to a nice restaurant. I'll buy them all lunch. Doesn't matter to me. It's all about building a relationship. The same thing goes. I might not even go into the event room where they're actually giving the presentations, and I might just hang out by the bar and just be running up a nice bar tab where I'm buying drinks for people I want to talk to. And that typically leads to them doing something for me later on, or I get some piece of knowledge about something that's working in their business that I can apply in mine, because they're already kind of lubricated up with alcohol, and I can apply that information from them. Now, I guess some people might think that's sneaky or crafty or bad, but hey, that's what everyone else is doing. It's pretty common to get some really good advice and really good information, and deals are made over drinks. Notes, sending out thank you cards when people make a lot of sales for you, congratulation notes for people, condolence stuff. If someone has a death in the family or something, you can definitely send them their condolences. You can send out birthday cards. So a lot of stuff you can do, and this does stand out. I mean, I've had people, send me interesting things in the mail. I had someone take a course from me. I remember this from several years ago, and she sent me cookies in the mail, and she also sent me some postcards and thank you letter and all sorts of other stuff. And it's someone that obviously understood the power of building a relationship. And if you can focus on building a relationship, you can do a lot. Here's another thing that's relationship related. I ended up hanging out with a billionaire who he used to own Helzberg Diamonds. His name is Barnett Helzberg, and he ended up selling that business to Warren Buffett. And, made over $1 billion selling it. It's a diamond jewelry store you see them in malls. Anyways, they're the ones that have the I am loved buttons. If you've ever been to a shopping mall and you see those little red I am loved buttons on people's shirts and things like that, they hand those out. Anyways, Barnett signed a book of his when I met him, and we had breakfast and dinner and lunch and stuff like that together over the course of a few days, and hung out a bunch. And he would send me things in the mail occasionally, where he'd send me some of those buttons and a note and things like that. I mean, this is a guy. I mean, I was in high school, okay, and here I am, hanging out with a billionaire and getting notes and cards and things like that in the mail and little trinket gifts. Just building a relationship with me. I mean, I'm just this teenager, so it's just amazing. And it was an incredible lesson that has stood with me to this day. I just think it's phenomenal, because it's like, really, I mean, what can I offer you? You're this powerful, guy that owned a diamond, a massively successful diamond chain, and you sold it for quite a bit of money. What can I really do for you? I'm just this high school kid. And I thought it was pretty cool. It's a very interesting lesson on, one, the type of man that Barnett Helzberg is, and two, just the value that he puts on people. And people are really your greatest asset. If you no, it's not like computers are buying your products. It's people. If you can build relationships with people and rapport with people, and you can help them out, and you can do cool stuff and build those relationships up, people are going to buy a lot of stuff from you, because they know, like, and trust you. And if you can focus on doing that and make the experience fun and educational and entertaining for them, you're going to be so far ahead of your competition. It's just not even funny, because there's so many people, especially in internet marketing, that all they care about is, what am I going to make today? How much money can I make today? And I don't care what I do to make it. I just want to make a bunch of money today and move on to the next thing. And they don't care about their customers. They don't care about leaving a legacy. They don't care about helping anybody. They're just in it for a quick buck, and they usually live pretty miserable lives, because they're not focused on the big picture. And the big picture is really helping people and changing their life and making their life better. And if you can focus on doing that for your customers and for your partners and your friends, that's when life really gets interesting. That's when things really change for you. Another big thing with JV Partners is actually do what you promise. Show up when you're going to show up. If you say you're going to promote something, promote it. If you say you're going to do something, get it done, and get it done before the deadline. Those types of things. Return phone calls, return emails. Those types of things, you're going to really stand out. There's so many people who are so bad at that. And I'll admit, I've definitely let some things slip through the cracks over the years. It's just, human nature. It's unfortunate, but that's just what happens. And, but if you really can focus on, showing up and doing those things, doing what you promise, that's a unique skill that very few people seem to have. and people will trust you because you do that, and people will like you more because they trust you. And when they know you and they like you and they trust you, life changes for you. Always, under promise and over deliver. That goes with the products you make. That goes with the things you do for your JV partners. That goes for, things in your personal life too. If you focus on that principle and really focus on always doing more than what you said you'd do, that will really, be a good thing. And if you're doing like your own product and you're making sales on it, you want to pay on time every time. If you'd say, hey, you're going to get paid 30 days after the sale, pay them 30 days after the sale or even a little before. That helps. Another thing with payment, I get payments where I get stuff, PayPal, I get wire transfers, I get checks in the mail, I get other forms of deposit where they come in. And what I know that the easy thing to do when you have a product is just PayPal them money, but the memorable thing to do is to send them a check, because then they have to look in their mailbox for the check. They've got to open up the envelope. Well, first they got to open up their mailbox and find the check. Then they got to open up the envelope. They got to sign the check. They might even scan it in on their computer. I know I've done that a lot. Then they got to, walk up to their bank or drive up to their bank, and they're thinking about you the whole time. They're thinking, oh wow, I promoted this product and I made, a bunch of money, or it's just this feel-good feeling that you have from doing that, and that's really cool. And it also gives you another, way of reaching out, because you can send a thank you card with that check. You could write a little letter to them, inviting them to your next promotion. I get those pretty often. AWeber's very good about that. They'll send like a little letter with the check of some other cool stuff coming out on AWeber, and so it's kind of neat to, or a tip on how to either promote AWeber better or how to use AWeber better. So it's interesting that they take that medal. But if you can just do stuff to stand out, where you're giving more than you're giving more than you're getting, and just focus on those small things. There's a guy who is the number one seller of cars, automobiles in the world. And what he did is he would send like a I like you thank you card style message to people every single month. And so he got to the point where he was sending like 12,000 cards, actual, snail mail cards, like little thank you cards, saying, basically, I like you, to people every single month. And he's in the Guinness Book of World Records for the person who sold the most cars. Obviously non-fleet. If someone sold a big contract to the government, that doesn't really count. But most individual car sales, because of that one tactic. That was his really big secret of standing out. And I think that's really cool, because if you can focus on that, there's so much you can do. I've sent out things to customers sometimes. I've sent out things to JV partners when they've done certain things for me. I've sent out things to people when they've just done well, and it's it's been either with their check, or it's been something where I just send it out in the mail anyways, just because I know no one else is doing it. And if you can take that little bit of extra time, you're going to build a lot deeper relationship. So where do you promote your product to get these potential JV partners? Well, there's jvnotifypro.com. I'm going to cover each one of these in more detail. There's Munch. It should just be I put two E's here. It's munchi.com. Ignore this other E. warriorjv.com. I am launcher, and there is no E here. It's just got the R. jvlaunchcalendar.com. warriorforum.com. Facebook JV groups. Skype JV groups, and then obviously you want to build your own joint venture JV partner email list where you don't send them any offers. You just send them JV invites for your products. So JV Notify Pro, this is run by Mike Mers, and basically it's a forum, but it's also a directory of like upcoming products and products that have already launched, and he sends out emails inviting people to the launches, and it's a really nice site. It's been around since like 2005, 2006, somewhere around there, maybe longer, but quite a while, and it's one that I go to really often to find out what's going on in the JV community. Then there's Munch Eye. This is run by Chris Munch, and he basically lists everything as well here. This top area, you pay to be advertised here, so that'll be like $50 a day or something to advertise there. So it's kind of cool. He's got like all the launches on the right, and then some of the top launches from people that have like a big track record. He'll list them here. So that's helpful. Warrior JV, this is run by Ken Stir, and it's another one where it's got the dates of the product and who the product is, and then you click on the invite and you can sign up. So it's similar concept. It's just who people like to follow. All three of them are very popular. I Am Launcher, I can't recall who owns this. I think Cindy Beatty might have this one, and it's another calendar that they also have a Skype group. I think all of them have Facebook groups now, but they also have a Skype group that's quite popular. So it's iamlauncher.com. Launcher with no E, it just ends with an R. JV Launch Calendar, I can't think of who owns this one. I don't think this one is as popular, but it's still another one to do. Warrior Forum, so this is right on their main page. You just scroll down, there's this joint venture section. You can click there, and there's almost 11,000 posts right now just on joint ventures alone on the forum, and you might find some partners there that could promote you, so it's kind of cool. Then there's Facebook JV groups, so this is actually my group, and I've got almost 3,000 members right now, and I've got actually a launch coming up, so I've got a little ad here at the top. I'm also talking about it down here, and I mean there's quite a few. I mean, you just look over here, a lot of these JV groups. So basically you would just type in JV or joint venture or product launch or WSO, those types of things. You could type in JV Zoo, things like that, and you can find a lot of these joint venture groups to connect with partners in, and a lot of them let you basically post a free advertisement up to get partners. Now, you're not going to get a ton of partners this way, but just because there's so many of out there and so many people just want to post their offer. But it's, if you pick someone up, it was definitely worth posting. Then there's Skype JV groups. I assume you all know what Skype looks like. I just took a screenshot of the Skype homepage because I usually am not logged into my Skype account. And basically it just looks like a typical Skype conversation, but you might have like 300 marketers in a room and they just post about their product launch. And that's another place to, spread the word. There's definitely groups too also, and Facebook groups as well, where you are more focused on building a relationship and making friends with people. And those are great places to hang out as well. But in those, you don't promote your product launch at all. You just use it to, help other people out. And if you can focus on helping people out, you make a vast improvement in your business. Then your own JV list, and I mean you got to build this with all these other sites and actually connecting with people one-on-one. But the nice thing about this is you simply blast out a mailing to your JV partners, and some of them are going to sign up. And obviously you want to follow up with them and things like that, but you can get people to sign up. I mean, if you build a JV list of a couple hundred or a couple thousand people, you can send an email out to them and get them on board for a product that you have coming out. So it's pretty cool. This is one of the best ways to get people on board because they already know you, they like you, they trust you. They've probably promoted something of yours in the past or at least expressed interest, and they oftentimes have given you their best communication. You might have their email. Well, you're more than likely going to have their email, but you might even have their cell phone number or their Skype. And so there's multiple modalities of communication that you can follow to get in touch with someone. So what do JV partners look for? Well, there's a lot of stuff. I was actually asked a couple months ago to kind of come up with a nice checklist for one of the JV groups on what I look for, and here's real the main stuff that I look for when I promote a launch, and that I know a lot of other JV partners and affiliates look for. One of the big things is, do I have an existing relationship? Do I know this vendor? If I know them and I feel like I can trust them, I've met them in person, or we've talked on the phone, or we've done something together before, I'm much more likely to do something, to at least look over their offer. Have I bought this product or other products from the vendor, or at least looked at other products of the vendors? Maybe I haven't had to buy anything. He's just sent me free copies of his stuff. I've had home study courses shipped to me, overnight delivery because they want to get me to promote. I've had other things where they just send me a digital thing. But if you've bought this or you've reviewed other products of theirs, you might not have to spend as much time and energy looking over their offer to see if it's a good fit for you. Is it a good fit for your list? Obviously, if you have a list where you're teaching list building, you might want to just focus on stuff that complements list building, and it's things that maybe you don't want to necessarily teach, or they've done a really good job and you think your list would benefit. You might not want to be sending them, how to make money with eBay and CPA and affiliate marketing and creating a product and jumping around from thing to thing to thing. But you might be sending them a lot of stuff that's like complementary. Maybe some list building plugin that's working really well, or a new list building traffic strategy, or some squeeze page templates, or different things like that might be what you're more focused on with that specific list of yours. And that's going to reduce your unsubscribe rate. It's going to keep your clicks high. It's going to keep your sales high, those types of things. So if you can focus on that and what's good for what my customers actually want, that eliminates a lot of joint ventures for you. Does it align with my message? Does this person teach something that is compatible with my philosophy on things? Now, I will promote things where someone has a different viewpoint than me, but more than likely I'm attracted to offers where the guy, we see more eye to eye on stuff, because I feel that more of my customers are going to be receptive to the offer. Plus, I don't want someone teaching something that's really conflicting of what I say, because then it kind of creates a battle in the mind of my customer and makes it so they have difficulty achieving success, because they don't know, well, who should I listen to? Should I listen to Reed, or should I listen to this other guy? If I haven't reviewed other products of theirs, I definitely want to see a copy of the product. Oftentimes, even if I've looked at their products, I want to get a copy of it too, just to see if it's something I want to review and promote. Is it a product or service I use? That's another thing. There's definitely been things where it's like, I'll buy a product and I'm not even, I wasn't looking to promote it or anything, but I bought the product. I'm like, wow, this is really good. I should promote this to my list because it's so awesome. And I've done that many times. Did I learn anything? That's a big one, especially if you're going to a product for the first time, or a new vendor. Did you learn anything? Is a person articulate enough? Does it have a ton of typos? Everyone makes mistakes. I had a typo on a few slides back. But is it fairly professional? That's definitely something that you want to pay attention to, because if they have it's just horrific grammar and everything's spelled bad or wrong, and they just have horrible grammar, which I just had a slip up there myself. But if that's like all the time throughout the whole product, that's going to be annoying for the customer and for yourself when you review it as well. So if you can focus on that, and also focus on the actual educational value, because I'm more interested in the educational value of a product, not the guy said or ah or whatever. Everyone does that. I do that. You do that. Nobody's perfect when they talk. So I'm more focused on the content. Did it teach me something? Is it something that's applicable? It's something that, okay, he showed me step by step how to do this, and now I follow those steps, and I was able to set up the ad campaign, or I was able to create the email thing, or whatever he was showing me how to do. I was able to follow along and do it. And if you can do that, your customers can do that too, and that's going to help them out a lot. Is it high quality? That goes with out question. If the product's crap, why would you promote it? Your customers are just going to refund. They're not going to trust your next recommendation. They're going to want to get off your list. It's just better to promote high quality stuff. You can sleep a lot better at night when you promote stuff that actually works and is of high quality. Now, does it have sales copy that convinces you to buy? Does it have some proven stats? If it has some sales stats that are going really well, that helps. They have a nice conversion rate, and they're getting earnings per click of like $1 or more, and a 10% conversion rate, and their refund rate's like 5% or something like that. That's definitely a product I'm going to be interested in promoting. Do they have a product funnel that's really exciting? And and I've got a product funnel coming up, and I'll share with this in a little bit with you guys at the end of the call, and kind of walk you through what a nice product funnel is. And for an upcoming product of mine, we'll see what happens. It more than likely will be a success. Do they have testimonials? Do they have other people saying that this product's awesome and it's great, and this creator of the product is awesome, and they come up with nice stuff and things like that. If they have testimonials, the product's going to sell a lot easier. I guess another thing I want to cover there is, do they have other forms of social proof? So on their sales letter, do they have actual like traffic stats, or some income disclaimers, or other things to kind of back up the claims that they're talking about? If they talk about speaking on stage, do they have a picture of them speaking on stage? Those types of things. Do they have pictures if they're talking about a lifestyle business they have, and they're talking about the cool life they have? Do they ever put any pictures to back it up in their sales copy? Those types of things are going to increase the conversions on a sales page. Now, does the price feel like a good deal? I like to promote products where I feel the price is worth 10 times what they're charging, because there's really a lot of value that someone can get. So, let's say it's a $10 WSO. I'm looking for them to have a real world value of like $100 of knowledge that they're going to get. So if that's really the case, that's going to make it a lot easier to sell. You're going to be able to sleep better at night. Your customers are going to love you, and they're going to be very interested in the stuff that you promote. Will my customers learn anything? Now, the JV Partners product might be a little more beginner to what I'm used to, but what about my customers? Maybe this is more targeted. It's obviously supposed to be targeted more at what my customers feel and what their level is at. So if you have a bunch of newbies on your list, maybe that product will appeal to them, and you want to focus on that. Or it might be something that you aren't going to get much, and you kind of scoff at the idea because it's like, well, I already know this. But you're not your audience. Your customers are the ones that are right, and they're the ones paying your bills. They're the ones providing with the lifestyle you want. So you need to focus on what their needs are, what they're going to learn, what's going to help them out. Does it work? I don't promote stuff that has no chance of working. I'm sure there's been things that have slipped through the cracks over the years where it was maybe not the best method, but it's impossible for me to try every single method under the sun and prove that the specific thing works or doesn't work. There are definitely things that are going to work or not work, better or worse than other things, and a lot of it is going to depend on the person, how much effort they put into it. If someone's just going to kind of half-ass it and not really care, and not put in any of the real time and energy into actually building something and creating something of value, they're not going to see results. But if someone, instead of spending 30 or 40 hours a week watching television when they get home from work, and they want to apply that to their business and focus on building a real business and doing something with their life and creating value, or whatever the product is, for instance, telling them what to do, and they actually follow the steps and aren't going to jump from thing to thing to thing, they have a much more higher chance of seeing success. I mean, those are really the only people that are going to achieve success. Those that replace these time-draining activities with revenue-producing activities and focus on proven systems that they can model to achieve success. Because those are really the people that has a much higher replicable success rate than someone who just has a random idea and doesn't really want to put in any effort, and they wonder why 10 years later nothing's changed for them. How well is it selling? I kind of hit on this earlier, but if the sales copy is converting and other promoters are making money, I'm definitely going to be interested in taking a look and seeing if it's a good fit for me. Is a vendor a recognized expert or authority? That's a lot easier to sell, Frank Kern than someone who has never released a product before. Because Frank has, a reputation in the marketplace and notoriety, and people know, like, and trust him. And there's definitely, even myself, I've been to seminars where I'll be going up to speak in a little bit, and I've had people come up to me before I speak, and they'll see me like earlier in the day, and they'll be like, "Hey, I don't know what you're selling, but I want to buy it. So here's my credit card." And I've had people buy, $5,000 packages of training from me because of the reputation I've built in the marketplace and the, the respect I've earned from what I've done over the years. And so that is not someone, if it's your first thing that you've done, you're not going to have that. And that takes years of carefully crafting things and following a lot of the stuff. Really, it's the stuff that I've outlined just in this call is what did that. It's building those relationships, building a real business where people are know, like, and trust you. Going above and beyond and over delivering. Those are really what it's about. And if you can do that and you are getting results for your customers, everything else falls in place. Can I get a commission bump? If there's, let's say someone's got like a WSO offer and it's, 50% commissions on the front end offer that sells for like $7, that doesn't really excite me. But if they can give me like 100% commissions, I'm much more interested in learning about their offer, especially if they can give me 100% commissions for the whole funnel, and they're willing to not make money on the deal because they understand the whole back end will make them a lot more money. Can I get lifetime commissions? This is definitely something that works really well for me. There's definitely there's people I promote all the time because I get commissions on more than just the one product I promote. They'll either place like a tracking cookie and I'll get tracked for other products that they're promoting, or they'll put me as like a lifetime referral. So this specific customer that I referred, if they buy anything at any time, regardless if they're on their computer or on their phone or on their iPad or whatever they're using, I still get credited because it has, it's like using their email or their credit card or however the tracking system's set up, and it associates that customer with me, and that's really cool. You can make a lot of money that way. Do I owe this vendor anything? Have they helped me out before? Have they introduced me to people? Have they helped me with sales copy? Have they promoted me before? Those types of things definitely go into the equation. If I owe someone a promotion, it's definitely going to make room for promoting them over someone else. Now, I'm going to go through a lot of this other stuff and, add it all up. And there's definitely things on this list where, if someone doesn't match all these things. There's definitely a lot of these things. Not everything's going to be a yes. But you want to choose the thing that has, you want to figure out which yeses are more important to you. Definitely things like helping the customers out, and it's a solid product, and it's actually going to convert well, or it's converting well. If you owe the vendor anything, it's another main one. I mean, if you're, someone promotes you all the time and they ask you to help them, and you just kind of scoff at them, well, they're probably going to quit promoting you, unless it isn't a good fit. They might have some obscure product that's just not going to go over well with your audience, so you have to keep that in mind. But if it's something that is a good fit for your audience and everything else works out, you definitely want to reciprocate and return the favor. Are there any prizes I could win? I know this is definitely a thing that draws a lot of JVs in. It's not something that's really that exciting for me. I'd rather be the prize giver-outer than the prize winner, but I know a lot of people, especially sales types, love to win prizes. I guess it's a big ego boost or something. I don't know. I would rather get a thank you card or a success story from a student. I would much rather get that than to win a couple $100 or a couple $1,000 or whatever they're offering. Yeah, it's fun and exciting, and it's cool when you win something, but I'd rather create value in other ways where I can win the thing. Or I can, I can just buy the thing. Winning the thing's cool too. I mean, there's definitely cool stuff I've won, phones and iPads and computer stuff and, money and things like that. And it's fun and it's exciting and it's a little competition thing going on, and it definitely, appeals to your ego. But like I said, I'd rather be the guy giving out the prize than the guy winning the prize. And it's just a mindset shift. So how do you find joint venture partners? Well, you go to seminars and events. That's the best place to find those partners. I'm going to a seminar this weekend. I'm going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina, and going to the Warrior Forum event. So I'm going to meet a lot of WSO guys from both Warrior Plus and JVZoo, and I'm actually a guest speaker. I'll be on an expert panel. I don't have a regular presentation this time. I'm just going to be on a panel. But they invited me. I was at the Traffic and Conversion Summit in January, and they're like, "Hey, out in San Diego, would you like to be an expert panelist? Unfortunately, we don't have any speaking slots left, but would you like to be an expert panelist at the Warrior event?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not? That'd be fun." So I'll get to do that. That'll be cool. You want to keep track of best-selling vendors and JV affiliates that are winning contests, and start building a relationship with them. Reach out to them. Find them on Facebook. Find their email address. Find their Skype. Those types of things. I'll give you some tips here on finding those things. A lot of times, it's going to be their name at gmail.com is a common thing. Get on their list. Obviously, is the best way. Then just start replying to their emails. Start building a relationship. Don't ask for things. Do things for them. You could ask them a question, but have it be something relevant. But really, more focus on what you can do for them rather than what they can do for you. Find them on Facebook. Start liking various posts or comment on things that they do or pictures that they put up. I remember the first time I met Matt Basic in person. He's like, "Oh, hey, Reed, you're the guy that's on Facebook all the time talking to me." I mean, this was, years ago. This was in 07, 08, somewhere around there, maybe even before, right around when Facebook started, coming out for everybody else, not just college kids. And, he was speaking at an event, and he was like, "Oh, hey," and he recognized me. He was talking to other people, and he came across the room to shake my hand because I was talking to him on Facebook before that and built some rapport with him. So it was pretty cool what you can do for that, and that's just a neat thing. So if you focus on those leaders and you build a relationship with them, good things happen. Then, even if you just focus on product vendors or top affiliates, you're going to have more than enough. There's literally hundreds. It wouldn't surprise me if there aren't 1,000 or more in the internet marketing space that have put out successful products or have won affiliate promotions in the past year or two. or at least placed in affiliate contests. I know someone put out a WSO at the end of the year last year, and it was like every person, at least from the contest they could find, where they placed, excuse me, where they placed in like a big affiliate contest on JVZoo, and they made a list of like 500 partners, and it was like a WSO for sale for like $10 or something. It was a nice spreadsheet, so you'll want to look for that. I'll try to find it and see if I can send you a link to it. And I don't know if it's on the market anymore. If the price has gone up, it's definitely worth a lot more than $10. I think I bought it on Warrior Plus, but basically they compiled a list of like 400 or 500 people that had done really good promoting products, I think on JVZoo, and they kept track of that information. Now it doesn't have any contact info, but it's got the names. And I mean, you could search for the names and find them on the Warrior forum, or find them on Facebook or on Skype or something, and add them. Try to befriend them a bit. A Skype trick here is a lot of people go by their actual name. So one of the Skypes I have is just my full name, Reed Florine. Other people go by like a company name that they'll use, and they'll use that as their Skype. Another kind of like bonus tip is you want to seek out authorities in like popular sites in your marketplace, like popular blogs or forums and stuff like that, because they could make great JV partners for you, or you might even be able to just advertise on their site or their newsletter or whatever they've got going on. So how do you build relationships? Well, one of the best ways to learn this is to read the #1 best-selling book by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I mean, this has been sold like 15 million times. I've read mine at least a dozen times. It is probably my favorite book, at least in self-improvement. It's one of my favorite ones. I like Think and Grow Rich too, and I like Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I like 4-Hour Work Week, and there's a few other ones, but I mean those are kind of my top 4 that I go to a lot. But really, How to Win Friends and Influence People is probably the best book on personal relationships and building relationships with people. So if you haven't read it, go out and get it. I'm sure you could find a PDF version somewhere for free, real cheap. I mean, the book came out in like the 20s or 30s, I think the 30s. So I think it's in the public domain, but I mean, I see it at the bookstore for like $7-8. It's pretty cheap. It's awesome. I have, I don't know, 4 copies or something. I have a lot of copies of this book. I love it. It's a great book, and a lot of people I know love this book as well. So I'm just gonna kind of give you a few nuggets from it, and not all these are obviously from that book. Some of these things you can find in other books, like the Bible and other books that I've read as well. Treat people how you like to be treated. Otherwise known as the Golden Rule. You treat people well, people tend to treat you well, and that's I guess what I've been trying to share with you in tonight's call is treat people the way you want to be treated. And if you treat your customers really well, they're going to treat you well. You treat your JV partners well, they're going to treat you well. You treat the loved ones in your life well, typically they're going to treat you well too. Doesn't always work that way, but in theory, it definitely works to your advantage to treat people great, well. And everyone you come in contact with, you should try to make their life better. I'm not saying just go out and fix people. All it takes oftentimes is to smile at someone. And that's going to make their day better. And if you can make someone's day better, you're succeeding. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how much respect you have or how much celebrity status you have. But if you're making the world a better place, because you brought happiness into someone's life, you're okay with my book. You're a good person. And that's what it's all about. If you can appeal to someone's ego, and show them how this is going to help them out because it's going to do something that they want, well, not only is it going to sell a lot easier, but you're going to be able to get people to do what you want a lot easier by appealing to ego, because ego is an emotionally driven, it's emotionally charged force that compels us to either do something or not take action on it. And if you can appeal to that ego and get them to take action because you appealed to it, you can do a lot, and you can go real far. Use their name. If you learn someone's name and use it in conversation and spell it right and talk to them and actually use their name, this goes well. It's a great way to memorize someone's name too. If you've talked to them and you actually use their name. Not like every sentence you say their name, but where it seems real, that's going to help you stand out, and people are going to like you because most people are horrible with names, absolutely horrible with names. And if if you can focus on that and work on memorizing names and memorizing things about people, you can find out who their significant other is, and their children, and places they've been to, and hobbies they have, and interests of theirs, and shows they watch, or books they read, things like that, and you can talk about those types of things in conversation, you're going to do real well. Focus on what you can do for them. I don't know how many times I've mentioned that tonight, probably half a dozen or so, and not what they can do for you. This is a crucial element, especially with joint ventures. It's crucial in all aspects of life, but this is what makes joint ventures work. Genuinely appreciate people and actually like people. If you hate people and you don't want to do anything with people, and you despise all people, and you look down on people, I don't know if business is right for you, because that's not what it's about. You should seek some help then, because that's not cool. Who wants to be around someone who hates everybody? I don't think anyone in your life wants to be around someone if you actually genuinely hate everyone. That's not cool. Talk to people. This is a foreign concept right now, because everyone's all like, ooh, Facebook, email, text message, Snapchat, all this other stupid stuff that everyone's obsessed with. Get out and talk to someone in person. Talk to someone on the phone. Do a Skype video chat. Any of those types of things. It's amazing how fast you can build a relationship if you focus on actually talking to people one-on-one and doing stuff on the phone with them, or on a Skype call, or in person. And it just really sets the stage and really makes you stand out, because there's so few people who do it. And if you can do that and have the confidence to do it. I had phone phobia. I was so afraid to even call up a pizza place and order a pizza. It scared the living daylights out of me. Okay? I got over it. I've cold called businesses. I've called customers out of the blue. I've cold called JVs. I've done all sorts of things like that where I couldn't have done that 10 years ago or so. I would have been scared out of my mind to do that. There are so many times, and I'm not even talking with just girls or anything. Definitely there's been things where there would have been girls that probably could have gone on dates with, or had a relationship with, but I was too chicken to call them up on the phone. But it goes with anything. I wanted to call up a business to see if they were open or they had something in stock, because I was afraid to talk to people on the phone. So if I can get over that, you can too. It's just forcing yourself to do it and getting comfortable with it. Do I like the phone? No, I don't. I much prefer face to face. I much prefer, like a video call. I like knowing and seeing expressions of people when I talk to them. It's hard to tell what's going on in a phone conversation and what's the body language someone's doing. So you really have to listen then. You want to be a friend. If you can be their friend and actually be interested in them, that's a key element of being a friend. Interested in them and their life and what you can do to help them. That makes you a good friend. A bad friend is someone who's, look at me, look how awesome I am, I'm so awesome, you should like me because I'm awesome. Did I mention I'm awesome? That's someone you want to punch in the face. Okay? But if you're out there and you're, genuinely interested in like their vacation or their, when they show you pictures of their kids and talk about, a hobby of theirs, maybe they, play guitar or something, and you want to hear them play and share a story or something, that makes you a friend. That makes you someone that is going to stand out. People love their friends. People will take a bullet for their friends, and you want to have that kind of relationship with your JV partners and with your customers. Because if you can do that, the world is your oyster. Listen, and I put this one all in big letters because it is crucial. It is so important to be able to listen. I just want to remind you, you're born with 2 ears and 1 mouth. I think there is a critical reason for that. You need to listen twice as much as you talk. If you can remember that, and people will tell you what's going on. People will tell you a lot about them. You can pick up a lot on people, and they might not even verbalize the words, but by actively listening and paying attention to, vocal cues, paying attention to body language, just a lot of things that you can pay attention to when someone's talking, that you get when you actively listen and pay attention. I'm not talking like when you're looking at your cell phone, playing a game, or sending a text message while someone's talking to you. That's not listening. That's being a jerk. Looking someone in the eye and really listening intently and asking them relevant questions and paying attention to them, that makes you a friend. That builds relationships. Make them feel important. Don't belittle other people. Build them up. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. If you're the self-appointed big shot, you're in the wrong place. That's not cool. No one wants to be around that person. You want to build your friends up. That's the fastest way. Well, maybe not the fastest, but it's one of the faster ways of building friendships, building relationships. There's so many people out there that want to belittle their friends and tease their friends, and we all do it to some extent. But overall, you want to be proud of your friends, and you want your friends to be proud that you're their friend. They might not even know why they're proud of you, but they have this inherent belief that you're awesome because you're constantly building them up and telling them how awesome they are. And that in turn is going to make them think that you're awesome. Let's talk about the power of reciprocation. Well, if you do something for someone, oftentimes they're going to feel obligated to help you. So if you've promoted someone before, if you've introduced someone before, or you've had someone on like let's say you're a seminar speaker and you've had someone speak at your seminars before, they're going to invite you to speak on theirs. Oftentimes they're going to promote you. Oftentimes they're going to connect you with someone else. This is reciprocation in action, and this really speed things up for you. So, promote people. That's one of the easiest things. Introduce people. That's a really easy thing to do. Help them out. If you know some technical thing, help them out. Give, give, give. That's one of the core elements of tonight's talk is always give. And then, once you've helped them out with like 3 or so things, try to get them to help you out. Ask for help. Ask them to promote something of yours. Ask for that introduction. Ask for them to help you figure out a problem. Those types of things, that's going to build up a relationship. Now, once you already have a relationship, you're not going to have to do it 3 times in a row before you ask again. But it's just common courtesy to do a couple things for someone. Give them a testimonial, those types of things. Do a few things for someone before you ask for help. Now, you're going to be shocked. I mean, this is something that can dramatically change both your personal life and your business. If you take this approach with, your significant other or your friends or things like that, and you're really helping them out, that's going to help you. I've got a neighbor lives across the street. He almost always shovels my yard, and he hasn't wanted payment or anything. He's just a nice guy. He's got a plow on his. He's got like a 4-wheeler and a little plow, and so he comes across the street and usually plows my thing. Now I know he thinks it's fun, but he's done that enough times where I know he's a handyman for his profession, and there's definitely things that I'm going to be hiring him for. And I mean, talk about a cheap way of acquiring a customer. Just doing a couple nice things for me when he was out shoveling his yard anyways, and I'm sure he had fun doing it. It looks like he's having a good time. He's got a smile on his face while he's doing it. And I'm more than likely going to hire him for different tasks. I just talked to him the other day to get some estimates on stuff. So I think it's pretty cool. My other neighbor, he's pretty awesome too. He's helped me with different things when I've had issues with something. I couldn't figure out how to get something to work because he's fairly handy. We went to high school together, so we've known each other a long time. But he's done cool stuff. He's also he runs the most popular bar in town, and so he he's given me free drinks and things like that, and I'll give him like some Facebook tips for advertising for promoting the bar that he runs. So it's give and take. It's pretty cool what people can do, and that's just some examples in the real world of how awesome. Well, I guess I live in a pretty awesome neighborhood, but just how awesome people can be. And unfortunately you don't see that everywhere, and I really implore you to focus on what you can do, and not come at it from the viewpoint of, well, if I help this person out, they're going to help me and I'm going to hold them to it. No, that's not what I mean here. I want you to come from I'm going to give, I'm going to help people out because it's the right thing to do, and eventually something good's going to happen to me because of it. It may not even be from the same person. Okay? Now, obviously, if you're helping someone out, and they never ever reciprocate the favor, well, you're probably going to quit helping them out. I mean, what's the point? That's just stupid. But, if you do it enough times and then, you ask for something, that's going to lead to a lot of stuff for you, a lot of success for you. So how do you persuade these JV partners to promote you? Well, relationship is one of the crucial elements. A lot of this is really following up on all those questions I asked earlier in the call of what a JV partner is looking for. If you can hit as many of those as yeses, it's going to help you out. But a relationship is going to do a lot of it. Have a killer offer. You have something that's converting well. It's awesome. It helps people out. That's going to do a lot of your job for you. Great conversion stats. So if you've got a high conversion rate, people are making high earnings per click, that's going to just naturally attract people to promote your offer. Reciprocation. If you've helped them out in the past, this goes back to relationship building. But if you've done that enough times, there's going to be people that want to reciprocate. Having a contest, giving out some contest prizes, that's definitely going to attract people. There's people that just promote something because they want to win a prize. So how do you motivate people to continue promoting your product? Well, commission bumps can be one thing. Something I did in January with my product is, let's say you made sales, launched on a Friday. So let's say you made sales on Friday. Well, first off, I bumped them to 100% commissions on the front end offer. Okay, so they got 100% on that if they got on my joint venture partner list, my email list for JVs. Okay, so that attracted people to my email list. Then, if they made sales on Friday, I bumped their one-time offer commissions, because I had 2 one-time offers in my product funnel. One that was, I think, $27 and the other was $47. I bumped them from 50% to 60% on Saturday. If they promoted on Saturday, I bumped them from 60 to 70, and so on and so forth until they could get 100% across the entire funnel. Now, people don't do that. It's very rare, but it is a good way of motivating people to promote you nonstop. I had people that all they did was promote me. They didn't promote other products that week. They just promoted me. They were creating cool bonuses. They were doing interviews with me. They were doing all sorts of cool stuff because they wanted to get those commission bumps. They wanted to make as much money as possible. And, I would publicly mention them that they were doing so well, and I was, giving them these bumps, so it gave them some extra financial incentive to promote me. Those types of things will really help someone. The contests, I did some extra contests to motivate people, threw in some extra cash to. One thing I did was a JV bounty contest. So I was like, well, if you knock out someone in the top 3 and you get into the top 3 and you keep it, I'll give you an extra, I think it was $100. And I had someone do it, and that I had a lot of people promote trying to win that $100. But I had one guy that I can think of. I think it was just one who actually beat out someone in the top 3. A new promotional angle. So you might be doing like a webinar and getting people on for a webinar. So maybe you're doing a traditional product and then you decide to do like a big webinar and let everyone promote it, or do a webinar individually for a JV partner that can put a lot of people on a webinar. That can do quite well. New promotional materials. I would follow up with JVs quite often and give them, new, like daily, and give them new email swipes. I gave them banner ads. I gave them different things to make it easy for them so they could just copy and paste the message and send it out. Make it easy. These guys are busy. A lot of them are lazy. Make it easy. Make it a no-brainer to promote your offer versus someone else. Follow up. Emails, phone calls, Skype, social media like Facebook and Twitter, Google+, all sorts of cool stuff. You do those types of things and you follow up with people with multiple angles. So many JV guys, product vendors, don't do this. It's ridiculous. I've had people text message me to make sure that I'm promoting. I've had people call me to make sure I'm promoting. I've had people Skype me and do social media stuff with me to make sure I'm promoting. And those types of things really help. It really speeds up the process. It really gets a lot more sales for you, and it just helps. It's definitely worth the little bit of time that you're doing to do that. Recognize them for their efforts. Publicly thank them. Mention them, your top people. And that's going to really do a lot, because everyone wants to be recognized. That's another, it's definitely something I've learned from Dale Carnegie. That's, people want to get recognition. I think there's a lot of people out there who, like let's say you're working a job. I think there's a lot of people who, instead of getting a little bit of a small raise, like a raise of like 25 cents an hour or something, they would much rather, get some sort of award or a plaque, or get mentioned in a message from their boss, publicly about how great they are, because that recognition, we crave it, we want it, we want that respect, we want that notoriety, and you can't really buy it. You have to achieve it and get it. and if you can get that recognition, it feels good. So let's walk you through like a JV sign up page. This is one that I'm actually doing a partnership with Anwish Wrath, and we got a product launching on the 27th of March. It's Email Ninja Academy. So we talk about the product going live, and I guess it's in 8 days from now. And we talk about the product name. We got our pictures. We got a little headline here, grabbing attention of our JVs and affiliates. And we talk about when the product's launching that they can make up almost $4,000, $3,767 per customer referral, and they're promoting a $17 product. Okay, but we've got a massive product funnel where they can make quite a bit of money off of. Then I've got a nice little video here where I talk about the launch, and I ask for their name and email and their Skype so we can communicate with them and give them, banner ads and email swipes and put them in the contest. Plus, they're going to get the bump code. By default, my JV partners are going to get 75% commissions on the product, but if they enter in here and sign up to be an affiliate or JV partner, they're going to get 100% on the $17 offer, so it's pretty neat. Then we start talking about the product and what it is and what it does. Talk a little bit more about it here. I won't go into too much detail there. Then we have a cash prize contest, and when you're doing a contest, you're going to want to put in different minimums here to kind of make it worth your time and worth the money for you. So we decided a first place prize of $500. We wanted at least 200 sales in order to offer that. Then we talk about some of the people who have promoted before and did some social proof, because that'll help. Then we share some of the track record. So Anwish has had some WSOs of the day, and how well they did, and talk about some of his affiliate promotions that he's doing. And then we start talking about some of my success and contests I've won and things like that. And then we talk about the launch date again, so it's the 27th of March. Then we talk about the product funnel. So I'll walk you through this real quick. They get for $17 they get this Email Ninja course. Then if they don't take that, there's an exit that'll pop up for a $1 trial. Then it'll rebill in 7 days for the Email Ninja course. Then they get some additional training that they can purchase for $27. If they don't, you guys are going to get access to this. My live coaching students are going to get access to this Email Ninja, just so you have it. So you don't need to buy this. It's just to give you an idea. Then they'll get this Mac Daddy pack, and this is a $27 offer. If they decide they don't want that, we'll remove several of the components and give some of the things we feel people are going to want and offer it for $17. Okay, and by default, on these upsells, my JV partners are going to get 50% commissions, and then it'll bump up by 10% each day that they make sales. So theoretically, someone could get 100% on this whole funnel. So they could get up to $3,767 on this whole funnel per customer referral. So it's pretty neat. Then they'll have an offer to get a home study course of mine, just as a digital download for $497, and they'll get a little bit of training on internet marketing from that. Then, if they buy that, they'll get offered the sales funnel creation for $997, where basically my team will create like a sales letter. They'll create graphics, and they'll do some technical stuff like they could set up a blog, or they could upload the sales page and pictures and sales letter button onto the website for them, those types of things. That's what my team will do. And then they get the option, if they buy this if they don't buy the $497, they're going to be presented with a payment plan for 3 payments of $197. If they buy the $997 offer, then they'll be presented with a one-on-one coaching session with Anwish and I for $1,997. Now, if someone doesn't take the $997 offer, they're going to be presented with 3 payments of, I think, $347 for that. If someone doesn't want to take the $1,997 offer, they'll be presented with an option to buy it with 3 payments of, I think it's $697 for that. So basically they'll pay a little bit extra on payment plans on all these, but it'll help boost conversions. So that's what the funnel is and how it works. So we're just talking about that, and it's kind of a neat thing. If you can incorporate a funnel, it's a lot. This is going to bring the earnings per click up dramatically for my partners, and it should pull in some more powerful affiliates and JVs to promote. We'll see. It hasn't happened yet. We're just kind of putting the finishing touches on this, so it'll be really interesting. But I just kind of wanted to share with you that this is where you kind of bring up the funnel and you talk about how your product funnel works. Then we're asking them to sign up again with their name, email, and Skype in case they didn't do it already. And then we'll have a sign off at the bottom, and which just has his picture up now. We might put one of mine up too, and his Skype details. So you like to put like contact details on there as well, and encourage them to promote type of thing. Then your JV communication, you're going to want to have like a joint venture partner update blog where you can update them on stuff that's going on, new email swipes, tell them about the contest, those types of things really helps. Skype, that's why I asked for Skype, because it's really good to be able to communicate with your partners on Skype. Email, I have that email list that I can send out my JV communication. I don't promote offers to them. In fact, I have it in a separate autoresponder company that manages just my JV list, and so I don't ever send them an offer by mistake. If you can send these JV invites, then that's really going to help. Phone calls, if you have someone's actual phone number, that's great too. We just decided not to ask for phone calls on this one because my partner lives in India and I'm in the US, and it's just easier for us to do Skype for this project. And then social media, I can usually find a lot of these guys on social media with their name or their email address, and I'll be obviously for the big ones I'm going to be adding them if I don't already have them, and building a deeper relationship, and just seeing what I can do to make it better for them. So with that, I hope you learned some great things about joint ventures. And the homework, I didn't put the homework in here. I'll try to remember what it was. The homework basically for tonight was just start thinking about who you could JV with. Find 10 guys in your desired niche market and really figure out who they are. Get to know them. Find them on Facebook and friend request them. Build a relationship with them. Now, I'm not saying all 10 are going to add you back. You might have 2 or 3 that add you back, but start with them. Build a relationship with them. Do something for them to improve their life, make it easier for them. And what you're going to want to start with people that maybe you've bought a product from and you like them, or you enjoy stuff that they put out, you really admire them, and it fits in with your niche demographic of what you've chosen. But find those 10 people and actually build a relationship with them. That's really going to help. And then just show me who those 10 people are. Just send it via my support desk so I know who it is. And that's really going to help you out. And if you can build that relationship with them, it's going to really change a lot of things for you. So I'm going to open up the line here and see what we've got. Oh, thank you, Shane. I appreciate that. Great. Well, do you have any questions? Anyone that's on the call today? I don't know if you're still. Looks like Shane's still around. I don't know if anyone else is still on. Anything I can help you with on? Okay. Nothing in the JVs. Anything? Any other marketing questions while we're here? I'll open up the call too, just in case anyone's just on via phone. I think it's unmuted now in case anyone has a question they wanted to ask via voice or via the chat box. I guess I'll give it another minute or so and see if anyone has a question. If not, then we'll just wrap up the call. Oh, sure, yeah, that's fine, Shane. Yeah, any questions you have, feel free to reach out, via the help desk there, and I'm here to help you. I want to help you out. I know you're having some technical issues with your page. The last we talked, I believe, you were having something with your sales page, I think. So yeah, let me know if there's anything I can do to help you on that. If there's anything I can do to answer any questions on that, I'd love to help. Great. Do you have any questions on anything tonight? Otherwise, I'm just gonna hop off the call. All right. Well, I haven't seen anyone else message or speak anything, so I guess it was great having you on the course. I wish you guys the best of success. We've wrapped up the 8-week program already. It went real fast. And if you guys have any questions, I'm here to help. I want to see you succeed. I want to help you out. Just hit me up on the help desk. And just a reminder on the homework this week, find those 10 partners in your niche and, figure out who they are, start building a relationship with them, and it's really going to make a lot of changes in your business. So with that, I hope you have a wonderful career in internet marketing, and I really look forward to seeing your success and helping you out. Have a great night and take care.